Hi there. Learn American English pronunciation with me, not from me, but with me. Uh, in this video, I want to talk about learning. One time, I was, I heard, I heard that every man, every person learn differently. Um, it have logic for me, but I didn't know explain the script that phenomenon, but it have logic. Today, after 4.5 years, have been learning English pronunciation, I know more about that. I talk about my process in that 4.5 years, and you can compare with your learning of English, concretely English. One time's analog on that, I would speak about learning programming language, learn developing, to learn developing web application, etc. Math, learn how I learn math. It is all my experience. In that 4.5 years, my story, my learning English story goes as that. At first, technology around me and connection with the customer goes from text and book, goes to video. And there is a lot of platform where we can place, where we can offer our courses. Till that, I write book and communicate with my customers over my book. I'm teaching in classroom. I teaching online, but by text also, and by writing in some forum or etc. But 4.5 years, YouTube fast coming on the top in every aspect of people. Search engine, there is more and more search on YouTube, and smaller and smaller, less and less search in Google, Google search. And I sit down and write in the YouTube, I write pronunciation. At first, on screen was A.J. Hodge, and I understand him. And it was a reason that I stopped and not search longer, and I began I began listen and listen and listen A.J. Hodge. And that time I listened one CD, Last Mohican, also. Maybe in the beginning and more, because it was clearer, it was narrator, some actors spoke that books. And A.J. Hodge I take from YouTube, take on my mobile, and it was not a good quality. But I listened Last Mohican. Last Mohican was interesting story, and very intriguing. It is American language, and so I listen and listening all by walking and listen. I copy that CD to my mobile and listening. And during that listening, but also listening and AJ coach, but during that listening, my thought goes to grammar. I see in the sentence grammar, and I cannot switch off that grammar. And I like what I listen. I like what I discover. For example, it was a sentence. General Monroe's Indian guide had reported to him that the enemy, French soldiers and Huron Indians, was numerous. First, how grammar coming in my head, listening that is had reported. Because after that goes a sentence, therefore, he immediately called, therefore he called General Grant to send him more soldiers, but he called, it is past simple, and had reported is past perfect. And it was very, very interesting for me because I have picture that General Monroe walking in the room and thinking, he thought what just had heard from his Indian guide. It is very moving, like he walking and thinking. He called General Grant and thinking, but thinking about what he was just had heard from Indian guides. The enemies was numerous. That was something excellent for me. That understanding of grammar, that understanding that something happened before past, past perfect, past. And after that, I opened some English grammar. I have some English United Kingdom English grammar, but in that time I don't mind about that and don't think about that. After more years after, I see that it is United Kingdom, but at that time I don't think about difference between two languages, but now I know that the difference is big. And I opened that grammar on verbs, and I listen about all temps, all declination of verbs, and that book stay opened on my desk on the side with 30 questions, 30 tests about past tense. And every day I solve that, and there is solving in the end of the book, and I control my how I know, and I know better and better and better and better. It is what it is for me was very interesting, and I every day make test myself. And it was maybe 1-2 years that book stay on the. I know that time play for me when learning is in question, and that 30 tests stay on desk, and every day open, and every day better and better. It means that grammar, all time I read also. I'm reading. I have been reading all time, and like before. And but reading is something what go fast. You read, you make picture in your head, and it is. But when you on the desk, when I have 30 sentence, 30 example, and every day test myself with same sentence, it is different kind of learning. It is learning, but not reading is some other kind of learning. Reading is understanding story, understanding what authors write, and you think about story in your head is a story, but not details, and because of that you have a big vocabulary, but only by eyes, not by talking. When you talk, you don't use many of that vocabulary, but when you read, you have big vocabulary, and it is a big difference. But when you look at 1 year every day in 30 sentences, it is something different. That sentence, there is no story what connect that sentence. That sentence is every separate short story, we can say, but and all concentration is on the grammar, not on the story, because there is no story. It is not story. And where you focus, you learn what you focus, and must enjoy in that. It must be your discover. You must discover your focus. I discover my focus. Okay, it was at first, okay, I must listen that I know spoke, and I listen. But when I begin listen, I discover my love to grammar, and I learn grammar. A.J. Hall said, no grammar, taking in garbage your textbook, nothing by eyes, all by, and he made some story, point of view, what he spoke, what he told in past, present, and future, but it is not for me, because I love grammar, and I go in grammar, and from that first day, I like more and more and more and more grammar, and ask on the internet some sentence about sentence on Stack Overflow. and it is very interesting what intrigued me, why native speaker, why people English, people American English, people say that like that, because they can say it is a very, very interesting. It was one kind of exploration, like explorer. I was explorer. For example, in movie, I heard she just came. She just came. She just came. But in that 30 sentence, I saw he just have came. Have came. But in American movie, one movie with very, very clear pronunciation with Stallone, one comedy, your mother just came. And I asked in Stack Overflow, why in that movie actor said your mother just came. Why did he not say your mother just has came? Perfect, past perfect, past perfect, past perfect to present, yeah, present, past, pardon, past present, no past perfect, past present, because a movie is present, and something before present is past present. Present perfect, past perfect, present perfect, present perfect, present perfect, past perfect, present perfect. Past perfect is before past, present perfect is before present. And your mother has just came. Has just came. She just came. He has just came. But he said, your mother just came. And I asked on Stack Overflow, because in the movie, does it because of some fast speaking, some shortage? Does it in communication only, but in the book, etc. I asked, and answer was answered. One said that he's professor and 30-year professor in English, but not native. And he said that American people make shortage and exclude some part of the time, and that I am right, that must be, when in the book, must be has came, but in the praxis, in the speech, in the talking, in the conversation in America, it is came. She came. She just came. Okay, I mark it like satisfied for me, but it was wrong. Some months ago, maybe years ago, some months after that, maybe years after that, in a bookstore, I find some grammar, English grammar in English, and I find in the end of the book it was in Croatian language grammar English. In the end of the book, I saw strictly difference between English and United Kingdom. There is no lot of example, but one of them was United Kingdom. Just she had just came. United Kingdom, she has, pardon, no had, she has just came. She has just came. She has just came. She has just came. Present perfect. Same example in in American English is she came. She came. She came. It is difference. It is difference between two languages. It is not shortage. It is not talking. It is not talking, but it is difference between two languages. It is not only in movie, no. And it is some example how I explore and how I like learn English. It is my path. And maybe in next video I would speak about more example. But for now video, I would resume, make summary. And it is that A.J. Hodge insists that we take off, that we don't look, don't think on the grammar. He spoke about pronunciation, he pronounced, and we need to listen, listen, and listen. And through his story, same story, spoken in past simple, spoken in past, spoken in present and future, we listening and listening more, listening, we will see acquisite difference, and we begin spoke grammar correctly without grammar book. No. His idea was interesting for me because I know how child learn language, and I would like speak fluently, and I would like listen and understand fluently. I would like spoke consistently, confidence, and I know that I must listen, but that rule, take off grammar, is not I not accept it, and my head is a lot of in grammar, in study language by grammar. I listen 2-3 hours a day from that, but every day listening, but always I think about grammar. Always I think about grammar. I read that sentence, read, thinking, listen, read, understand grammar, understand why grammar like that, and learn that, and try memorize, repeat, talking that, repeat that, but always thinking on the grammar. But when I repeat 100 times, I don't think on the grammar. I repeat it, and it is not only grammar. It is why he take words what he takes. They have. He makes friends. Yeah. We don't use makes in that context, but you say word makes friends. He makes dinner. He makes cake, etc. Okay, for today, it's all for today. Thank you for watching. subscribe down if interesting for you, and see you next time.